We're gonna spend this weekend reading the entire trilogy. I'm gonna actually scream. This series is gonna make me sick. Why am I doing this? You know, I just get the feelings that this is gonna ruin me. The day is finally here. We are finally doing it. We are reading the Infernal Devices. We're doing it. We're reading it. I've got the books. I had to read 3 books before reading this. We read the Mortal Instruments, books 1, 2, and 3, and I think I read all of them in reading vlogs, which was very exciting. I've started my journey in the Shadowhunters universe, Cassandra Clare's world of many book series and many books and many stories, and I read the first 3 Mortal Instruments books, which means now it's time to pick up the Infernal Devices. So we're gonna spend this weekend reading the entire trilogy. I sense that my life is about to change. I am prepared for my brain chemistry to be altered. I'm ready for it. I'm going into this knowing nothing other than this is one of the best love triangles to ever exist in a book. So I'm excited. I'm actually so excited. I know it's set in London. Shall we read the blow of the first book? That's 3. We're not gonna look at that. I don't want to spoil anything. When Tessa Gray arrives in England during the reign of Queen Victoria, something terrifying is waiting for her in London's downworld, where vampires, warlocks, and other supernatural folks stalk the gaslit streets. Friendless and hunted, Tessa seeks refuge with the Shadowhunters, a band of demon hunters. Drawn ever deeper into their world, she finds herself fascinated by and torn between 2 best friends. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm actually so excited. Guys, I'm so excited. Anyways, I am ready. We're gonna vlog. We're gonna read all 3 books in this video. I'll ask you guys if you want to see more reading vlogs of me just like reading series in like dedicated vlogs, or if you want like different books to be read in different vlogs, if you want me to change it up. And you guys basically said that you didn't care, you didn't mind, as long as I'm doing a reading vlog and I'm doing like different vlogs every week, you know, like I'm not doing the exact same themed reading vlog every week, you know, we can do fun things like this. So we're gonna read all 3 books in this video. If you haven't read these books, don't worry, I try to keep all of my reading vlogs spoiler free, so I'm not gonna talk about any major plot points or anything that's gonna happen, but I will be reacting to things that happen in this book, and I may add a section at the back of this video and I will warn you guys, and I'll add timestamps for potential spoilers if I do want to discuss any spoilers and things that come up. So if you've not read the books, you've never heard of the series, you don't know if you want to read it, don't worry, you can watch this vlog. If you don't want to know absolutely anything, you don't want to see my reactions, I guess it's kind of just like any other normal reading vlog where just click off this video and go watch something else. But a whole reading experience, the majority of this video spoiler free, and then I'll maybe add some spoilers at the end. Editing Emmy will confirm that spoilers will be added at the end of this video at this point. Anyways, let's get started. We're about to jump into the Infernal Devices. I'm so excited. Okay, we're comfy. We're ready to now spend the weekend reading Clockwork Angel. We're about to start. I'm actually honestly afraid, but got my headphones. They've been on charge. I've been waiting for my headphones to charge, and now we're ready to finally jump into the first book and start it. I'm scared. Once I start, I know I won't be able to stop, and I don't know why. I'm just afraid. I'm really afraid because I don't know what to expect, but I have expectations. I want it to be good. I'm hoping it's going to be better than the Mortal Instruments so far, which I have been enjoying, which means that this is a 5-star potential, this series, at least. Like, there may be a 5-star read in this trilogy, hoping, but they should all be at least a 4-star or up. And I don't want it to be disappointed. I want to go into it just like expecting nothing, but unfortunately I do have these expectations, and it's okay. We're gonna enjoy it anyways. Let's begin. So we're 3 chapters in. The chapters are like 20 pages each, so we're already on page 60, but this book is flying by. It's just under 500 pages, but I think I'm gonna eat. I think I'm gonna devour it. I think we're in for it. I think I'm gonna lock in. I think that's what we're gonna do. We've had the main characters meet each other just now, briefly, but at the start we obviously had the prologue, and then jumping straight into some of the storyline, and I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on. So I'm obviously gonna read to find out what's going on. And I was like, oh, okay, wow, we're really just like moving through it. There's not really any introduction or like, here, let's get to know some of the characters. It's like, nope, we're gonna put you in the situation and we're gonna figure out from there. But I'm already liking it. I'm already really liking it. I don't think I couldn't not like it because I like the multiple instruments. But I also really like Cassandra Clare's new adult series, Swordcatcher and the Ragpicker King. So I've not read a book of hers yet that I didn't like. Anyways, I just get the feelings that this is gonna ruin me. But there was a quote that was said, page 57. I'm going to add to the spoilers so you can wait to the end for it, but not even 100 pages in and Magnus Bane has been mentioned. Love it. So we are officially over halfway through the book. I've just sat and devoured the first half. My camera roll is just full of photos of quotes from pages that I've taken photos of that I want to come back and remember, and I literally got to a point where I was like, maybe I should have just annotated this book. Maybe I should grab a highlighter and start annotating it, because so many things have been said that I'm like, oh, I like that. I want to remember that and come back to that. But I'm also like, I'm probably going to eventually do a reread of this series anyways, so maybe we'll do that. But right now, the first 50% I'd say, like I said at the start, we're kind of just being thrown into it and we're figuring out who the characters are and what the story is and figuring out what the actual plot is, because I find with like the blurb of these books on the back, they're so vague, where it's like, oh, we have this character in this world and then things are not as it seems and things are going to happen, but other than that you don't actually know what the storyline is, and I like that. I wish more books did that, because I feel like so many blurbs give spoilers nowadays. They just tell you everything that's going to be in the book and then you're like, well, I could have read that all in the first 200 pages, you know. Whereas in here I'm like, okay, we're setting up, we're meeting the characters, we're understanding the world, we're having a lot of like crossover and connections to the multi-instrument series. So I'm like, oh, I know that name, I know who that person is, and I know what the legacy is there, and I know what they're talking about. I know the lore. Well, we're getting the lore technically 'cause it's a prequel, but I'm like, okay, I'm getting it. All right, now we have a plot point. We know what the purpose of this story is, or what the driving force behind these characters' actions and intentions are. And now I feel like we're at a point where it's just gonna start. We're gonna get more action and more interaction with these characters, because it has been easing us in. But it's so easy to read. It's so easy to just sit and binge. So I definitely probably will be taking a little quick break. I might get into some pajamas, have some dinner, chill, and then just binge the second half of the book, because flying through it. And I want to make it last, but I also don't. But I had a couple comments and people say that book 2 was when they really got into the story. So I'm wondering where book 1's going to go and how it's going to make me feel. And now I'm like, I also want to read book 2 like back to back straight away and see. So I don't know where this could end. Right now I can't predict where this book 1 will finish and where it will go, but I'm excited. And I'm very intrigued and invested already in the characters. I wonder if it's because I've already read the Mortal Instruments that I'm like, I just know I love this world and her writing and the stories, that I'm of course just gonna love this as well. Or if these characters are gonna be extra special to me for a particular reason. I can't tell, but so far I'm liking it. There's a good dynamic going on and very different characters. It doesn't feel like it's just same characters of the Mortal Instrument in a different font. We have some different stuff going on, but I'm enjoying it. There is something about a YA book with true yearning that will just get me every time, because what do you mean we're like 300 pages into the first book in a series and I'm already here like, I love them. I'm so obsessed. I'm so afraid for what's to come. I know, but I don't, but I know. Oh my god. This series is gonna make me sick. I love the way that this is written. I love the time period that it's in. It's just perfect for the story. It is. Chapter 12, Blood and Water. That's all I'm gonna say. Two scoops of Ben & Jerry's chocolate fudge brownie ice cream. A good book trilogy that I can binge. My dream Saturday night. I can't believe that I am a retired baddie who used to go to the clubs like 5 nights a week. This is me in my true form. That was also many years ago. Anyways, currently having my absolute dream weekend. You cannot tell me that there is nothing better than this. I am in heaven. We're having such a good weekend, aren't we, Cooper? The vibes right now are just immaculate. So we have less than like 70 pages to go, and I was not expecting this plot twist or like reveal. I knew it was something. I just I don't know, I just didn't think it would be that. I don't know how to feel about it. Oh boy, we finished. We read it. Look at this. I have tabs. I never tab. Like rarely ever. I'll do a tab on a reread, but it got to the point where I was like taking myself out of the story because I was like, wait, I need to take a photo of this page to come back to it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go and get the tabs and a highlighter and I'm just going to do the thing, you know? I feel like Maddie right now. Anyways, I'm like, look at this. I got like the entire box set for like £10. So if you go into Waterstones and buy the physical copies of the books, they've got like a matte cover. It's much nicer quality paper and how it's printed. This is obviously like a cheaper version, like I said. So I don't feel so bad like annotating and tabbing the book, and it took me no time to do because it was just literally putting tabs on things that want to come back. But I did tabs for 2 different characters. I did one colored tab for Will and one colored tab for Jem. I know where we're going with that. I know what's happening. I know what's going to come. I can see how it's been set up, and I know what to expect now. So going into book 2, I just feel like next level is going to be upped, but I'm also not too sure where the overall plot is going and what it's going to be, because we kind of got a resolution with some of the storyline in this that I'm now like, okay, how's it going to continue? What's coming? And I fear I'm not prepared, I'm not ready, because I don't know what to expect. Other than people just continuously telling me to be prepared and wishing me luck. I'm scared. 4.5 stars though. I think it's my favorite Cassandra Clare book that I've read so far. For me, this was like on par with The Rag Picker King, which I really loved. So 4.5 stars, and such a special book. I love that it was just sitting on my bookshelf and I've been working my way through this series, and I had no idea that I would feel this way about this story, and I hoped I would, and I did. So I'm hoping it's going to continue. I'm immediately going to start book 2, like immediately. And I think I can read at least half of book 2 today, and then we can finish book 2 and read book 3 tomorrow. There's so much I need to know about what happens next. So anyways, I just want to give all the characters a hug. That's how I'm feeling it. Everyone needs a hug. Everyone needs a big hug and some love. All of the characters, literally everyone. Time for book 2. I have to say, right from the prologue, the like yearning in this is just through the roof. It is breaking every scale that we had. That's all. Wow. I'm like page 1, tab. Yeah. Day 2. It's Sunday. We're continuing to read. We got like 40% of the way through the second book, and I'm just gonna sit on the couch and read this book now. I am getting really into it. I think I've already tabbed and highlighted way more than I have in book 1. I just don't know. There's just so much about like the way this was written. I think the setting being in London during Queen Victoria's reign. Oh, I don't know what it is. It's just like yearning goes hand in hand with that type of old English language and the need for proprietary, the need for proper and respectable, polite, modest, conservative, demure language and actions and intentions. Oh, it's just so perfect because obviously they're shadow hunters, so they have their own moral code and way that they are allowed to live in the world and act, and they are allowed to do it a lot more casually than mundanes. So it's beautiful. It's like the Mortal Instruments, but make it Bridgerton, you know. The glances, the way they look at each other, the way that they are friends and are building these friendships as 17-year-olds, but then also feeling so many big feelings and emotions, and each one of the characters is helping each other in a different way. Like they bring out different parts of each other that they all need. I love them all. I love everyone. I love everything. We have this mystery plot line that's going on with the demons and the monsters and the characters. And there's so much quoting of like poetry and novels, and I'm really enjoying it. That's it. That's all. This is just me logging on to say that we're going to continue to read the books. We're hopefully going to finish book 2 soon and then start book 3. And I don't know what it is today, but I feel a little bit emotional. I feel like I'm probably going to end up crying at some point. Like I can just sense an emotional, distraught hurricane coming. Anyways, let's go and read. Let's jump back into the story because it's just fun. There is like a storm coming in, which is making for, or going to make for really perfect, ideal reading conditions of just a gloomy, overcast day to represent the feelings that I'm going to be put in from this trilogy and where we're going. I think I'm enjoying book 2 more than I'm enjoying book 1, and book 1 was already like a 4.5 star read for me. So current thoughts, but I'm gonna put my headphones on. My highlighter has been getting so used. We have more annotations already in this book and quotes. I'll go through my quotes at the end of the video with the spoilers section, but we're going through it. Yeah. Okay, chapter 16. Also, the one thing about this book is the chapters are long, like 20 to 30 pages per chapter, but it's fine. It's okay because the chapters are broken down by like paragraph sections. So we will have a couple pages following one character, and then we'll have a paragraph break and it will flip to like a different character in a different part of the world with something going on. So even though the chapters in her books are a lot longer, they are broken up, so there's still parts in the chapters where we're not just having one character's point of view for like a solid 20-30 minutes with no break, you know. Wish me luck, guys. I'm enjoying this so much. I'm afraid of slumping when I finish this because I have not felt so emotionally attached or connected to a story or a series like this in a while that I'm afraid nothing will compare after this. Oh, I was not expecting that. Two chapters from the end, and it's yeah, it's all happening. I'm gonna be sick. That was absolutely atrocious, and I need to tap it. Oh, I feel sick. Oh no. Don't say that. Don't say that. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We're right. We're right. It's fine. We finished. I need a minute. Sometimes when I read a book like this, I'm just like, is this a form of self-harm? Because why am I doing this? You know, I'm gonna make myself cry. So here's the thing. This was actually so rude. It was so rude to make me read that. I'm actually scared now for book 3 because yeah. I'm so scared. No, it's fine. I love this. I love this. I think this is a 4.75. Yeah. See, now I'm wondering if I'm like rating things too critically or too harshly. We'll see. We'll see at the end. But it's so hard to talk about multiple books in a series or in a world when you are multiple books in, you know, because so much of it is spoiler. But the way that the story progresses from book 1 to book 2 and the characters and their own progression and the characters' own relationships with one another, each other, overall together as a group, everyone balances each other out. Everyone has traits and characteristics that another character needs. The found family in this is beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. I rarely ever want to like tab or annotate or, you know, remember things, and so much in this just resonates with me that I was like, wow, that's gonna hurt. And there's some quotes that I started to get very teary over while reading them, and also rereading them when I finished the book. But it's time we're gonna jump into the third and the final book in the trilogy, because I need to know what happens. So we're gonna spend the evening today doing the book. I think I'm gonna maybe like start the audiobook maybe, because I've seen it's available on BookBeat and I have some hours left on there, so I might start the audiobook, take Cooper out for a walk, get into some pajamas, get comfy, and then we can read the third and final book. I think I've picked the perfect time to read this as well. I feel I feel ready and prepared, and also just afraid, but I'm ready. I need to know what happens. I can't imagine putting this down and going and reading something else, because I have to know how this resolves, you know? We have this overarching plot that is happening across all three books with this fantasy action element, this mystery, and I'm finding the pacing of it quite good, quite interesting. We're having character focused moments where there are chapters and scenes focusing on individual characters' feelings, emotions, actions, intentions, growth and development. And then we're also having good action scenes that are progressing the plot and interesting things are happening, and we're being fed answers and hints to kind of put like the overall puzzle piece together. But then I have theories and ideas in my head of what I think where it's going to end and what it's going to be, how we're going to wrap it up. But I'm also very engaged with the story and finding out what's going to happen, because I can't predict everything. And I just think it's such a good YA fantasy story, and the romance in this, special, magic, beautiful. I love YA. It's just so wholesome, so not naive, but there's just something about first love as well, and the way that it makes you feel. And to be like a teenager who's trying to figure out themselves and others around them and navigate really difficult things and feelings. I'm gonna start getting emotional again, so I'm just gonna stop talking and we're gonna read. But I'm so glad that I understand the hype now. Truly, wow. Let's read book 3. After I finish this book, I'm gonna need to see like an exact family tree for all of the characters. Like, I need to know how everyone is related and connected, specifically how many generations apart. Because I'm not good at that type of math in my head. I know we're in the 1800s, but I need to know. That's the first thing I'll be doing when I finish, is looking that up. Oh, I love this. Chapter 2, The Conqueror Worm. A 100 pages in, and this is reading, I don't know, just like better than the other books. I don't know exactly what it is about the writing or why I'm feeling that way, but I'm just way more locked in and interested and intrigued, and it feels like a level up from the other 2 books. So I'm really enjoying it. Again, just tabbing and highlighting my way through the story. We have additional characters. The story has really developed from the first 2 books, and I'm very intrigued by the plot lines that we've got going on. And I feel like we've had a lot more plot and action in this first 100 pages compared to the other 2 books in the same sort of time. We also have a new element added where every chapter is kind of ending or is starting as well with different letters going back and forth between other characters of this new plot line that's been brought in, and that's intriguing. I don't know where we're going with that just yet, but I think we're gonna find out. I'm gonna make some food now because I'm a bit hungry, and the audiobook is narrated by Daniel Sharman, so I need to listen to some of that. I loved Daniel Sharman in Teen Wolf. I'm gonna put that on now. But yeah, I'm gonna fly through this. It's just so easy to read and I'm having a lot of fun. But I know that the ending, we're gonna have some pain. We're now halfway through the book and it's time to move to the bedroom to read in bed the rest of this book. So much is happening right now and we're jumping back and forth between so many different characters. Like, we're having one small paragraph with one character, then we're moving to other characters, then we're moving to other characters. So the pace is starting to pick up and the plot is moving forward. We did have a minute there where I was highlighting so much from single pages and I started to feel emotional, but I feel like we're back in the action now. Like, I literally highlighted this entire... Anyways, we're gonna go hop into bed and finish the book now. Oh my god, I can't believe the end is nearing. Every time I think we're having a nice moment, Jem goes and says something that's gonna actually make me burst into tears. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe that that just happened. That can't. I've just been lying in bed and I've had to sit up because, what do you mean? We're like 100 pages to go, but, huh? What? I'm so... The time has come to read the epilogue and I'm afraid. It's actually brutal. It's so perfect. Hello everyone, it is the next day. These books, this series, wow. Last night I was just sobbing uncontrollably, as you saw, and it went on for a while. So I needed to sleep on it so I could have some coherent thoughts to share with you on how I feel about these books. And I just have to say, YA fantasy series continue to be like god tier my favorite. It strikes again. I don't know what it is. I just feel like I have consistently higher ratings for adult fantasy series, but the YA ones are the god tier, brain altering, life changing, emotionally connecting reads for me, and this is one of them. This is up there now as one of my favorite trilogies of all time. It's sitting and critically being like, this is a 4.5, this is a 4.75, and rating those books like that feels so redundant, because I think when you're looking critically at anything you can find flaws and faults with them because nothing is like perfect. But the way that this series wrapped up, it's 6 stars, it's god tier, it's a 5-star series. I'm struggling to now speak about or think about these books individually as individual reads, because overall it is 5 stars. Does that make sense? I cried so hard during the epilogue of book 3 that I had to pause multiple times to wipe the tears from my face, because I was just like, the words were blurring together and I was missing things. But I woke up this morning and then I cried again. Thinking about the characters, and then I went on TikTok and then I felt really nauseous looking at TikToks about the series, and it's going to haunt me. I want to do a reread. I do. I'm so glad that I tabbed and annotated. I could not tab or highlight the epilogue, and I do want to do that. I just cannot do that right now. I'm not in a space where I can do that, because I will start hysterically crying again. But this is so beautiful. My goodness, how did you guys read this as a teenager? Like, genuinely, I don't think I could have emotionally handled that. My feelings are so big about this series and the way that it's made me feel, and I'm obsessed. I'm so obsessed. I was planning on reading other books in the Mortal Instruments and the Shadowhunters Chronicles universe world on Kindle, because I just have all 6 of the Mortal Instruments books, and then the Infernal Devices trilogy, but I have gone and placed an order for every single book in the universe, all like the bonus books, the spin-offs. I will be reading everything. It's taking everything in me right now not to just like cancel my TBR for the month and devour. Maybe I can just do that actually. I just want to read Cassandra Clare right now, but I know that this is peak. I know that there's probably not going to be anything for a long time for me that hits the way that this does, because finding a read like this that you just emotionally connect to, that literally punches you in the stomach and then rips your soul from your body, it's rare that that happens. It's only happened a few times. I need to get tattoos for this series and these books. I cannot stop thinking about certain things, certain phrases. I'm gonna cry and just get emotional if I continue to think about that, but these are now some of my favorite books ever. Oh, doing a reread is gonna hit so hard knowing what we know at the end. Like it's fine. If you haven't read these books, I definitely would recommend them. If you want to get the full reading experience, I would recommend reading the first 3 Mortal Instruments books first. Some people messaged me saying that they hoped that I had already finished Mortal Instruments before picking this up because of the last Mortal Instruments book, but I haven't. I'm doing the recommended reading order from Simon Teen because that's the one that everyone has told me in comment sections to read, so that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to jump back into the Mortal Instruments next. I understand the hype now. I'm insanely obsessed. These characters are going to live with me forever, and so are these words. And that brings us to the end of another reading vlog. I will put in the spoilers now for this part of the video. So if you haven't read the books, you don't want to know any spoilers, I am giving you enough time now to click off screen. If you do want to know the spoilers, then we're about to just jump straight into them now. Okay, so page 57. Tessa's just met Will. He saved her from the Dark Sisters. She says, the shadowy outlines of 2 human figures became visible. Each was holding a blade, and each blade shone with the same blue-white light as Will's. Angels, Tessa thought, wondering, but she didn't say it. That light so bright, what else could they be? I'm ready. Okay, so some of the quotes that I have saved in my camera roll so far. You can keep it a secret, but secrets have their own weight, and it can be a very heavy one. One must always be careful of books and what is inside them, for words have the power to change us. Only the very weak-minded refuse to be influenced by literature and poetry. I love this series, guys. Alright. Will looked at her slow and hard and then smiled. His blue eyes lit when he smiled. Then you must do the same for me, he said. Tessa. She had never thought about her name much before, but when he said it, it was as if she were hearing it for the first time. The flat T, the caressing S, the way it seemed to end on a breath. Her own breath was very short when she said softly, Will. I can't handle it. I can't handle them. Will is very clearly my bias at the moment. That could change, but I'm so team Will. I'm sorry, I'm so team Will. Only 100 pages in. As soon as I met Will, as soon as this, honestly, if we're gonna be honest, right from the very start, the prologue, I was like, yeah, I'm team Will. Everyone has something they can't live without. I'll find out what it is for you, never you fear. Oh my God, tell me we're gonna get to the end of the book and it's gonna, or the end of the series, and it's gonna be her. You can't live without her. Oh. If your point is that there was a pretty girl in the room and it was distracting you, then I think I've taken your point handedly. You think she's pretty? Will was surprised. Yes, and you do too. I hadn't noticed really. Yes, you have, and I've noticed you noticing. They're gonna fly over her. They're gonna... Oh, there's gonna be such like self-loathing and internal hatred with this love triangle. I can just feel the tortured dark soul vibes. We've just read, we're on chapter 12 right now. Will and Tessa just kissed. She had her first kiss on page 301, and he immediately pushed her away and told her to go. It's begun. I already have my feelings a little bit hurt by this, but where is it gonna go? That's what I need to know. Where is it gonna go? What are we doing with this? Tessa, I'm begging you, do you understand? I'm begging you, please, please leave. Will. Anyways, I'm continuing on. Right now, Jem is sick. There's something wrong with Jem. I don't know what's going on there, but if he dies at the end of the series, I want everyone to live happily ever after, but that's, I fear, not going to be possible. And right now, like, or it's insinuating that Will is gonna push Tessa away. She's going to have a thing with Jem. Jem is going to die. Will and Tessa will end up together at the end. We'll see how right that is, but even if that does happen, it's It's gonna hurt. Okay, so we're so close to being finished with book 2, but I just want to like update you on all like my tabs that I have in my quotes because this is obviously the spoiler section. So, oh, this book's actually gonna be the death of me. We have Tessa thinking about Jem, where she says, his beauty did not blaze like Will's did in fierce colours and repressed fire. It had its own muted perfection, the loveliness of snow falling against a silver grey sky. Oh, the way that they are opposites. But you love her. Magnus talking to Will about Tessa, and he says, of course I do. I had come to think I would never love anyone, but I love her. I'm gonna actually scream. But then a couple pages later he says, no one can live with nothing, he whispered, Jem is all I have. I'm sorry, but this love triangle is going to be the death of me because I love them all. I love them all. When Will truly wants something, said Jem quietly, when he feels something, he can break your heart. My heart is breaking. She calls Jem James and he says James. Ordinarily only Will calls me that. I like the sound of it on your lips. Obviously Tessa and James having their first kiss, and she says the feeling that she was being given back something that had belonged to her forever, a bit of her that she had missed without knowing she was ever missing it. Actually, I felt like I got kicked in the stomach when I read that. That one really hurt. Will starts calling her my Tessa. Will saying, I have wanted to do this every moment of every hour of every day that I have been with you since the day I met you, but you know that. You must know that, don't you? All the pieces inside her that had felt broken and jagged when she had looked at Will these past few weeks began to knit together and heal. She felt light, as if she could float. I'm afraid. There is a soul under all that bravado, and he is really alive, one of the most alive people I have ever met. When he feels something, it is as bright and sharp as lightning. Also, Magnus kissing Will to try and like upset Camille is so funny. I did not think that Magnus would be such a prevalent character in this trilogy or in this storyline, but it's so interesting. Also, the fact that Will's description kind of matches Alex is also funny. But anyways, we have like 100 pages left, like I said, so I'm gonna get stuck in. Right now I'm not feeling hopeful. I have a feeling that my current prediction of where it's going is that she's gonna be with Jem now. That's it. They're gonna be together because Will has just pushed and repressed and is trying to lift this curse that he believes this demon has placed on him, and she's going to live her life with Jem. And I just can't shake the feeling that Jem is actually gonna die. They've been saying it the whole book that he's gonna die. I genuinely think that he's going to die. I think that's how this love triangle is going to resolve itself, is that she's gonna love Jem and then she's gonna love Will after. And that will actually ruin me. That will destroy me. I know, Cooper. I know. But also right now we obviously have the mystery going on with the Magister and Nate, her brother. I'm assuming Tessa is some type of warlock and shadow hunter offspring, and that, you know how they're talking about there will be stillborns, where when he's saying that he made her, she probably did die and he brought her back to life or used magic or something that she shouldn't be alive, so he made her in that sense. But I don't know. I have bad feelings, but there's the whole like opium crisis happening as well on the side. Her brother, it's a lot. Poor Charlotte and Henry. What an interesting dynamic that is. We have Sophie as well, who has become a more prominent character. So the second last chapter, and when Will started declaring his love for Tessa, not knowing that she was engaged to Jeff. No, I'm gonna get upset. It's okay, I'm fine. We got a shouting, I love you confession, he screamed. I did it because I love you, he half shouted. I love you, Tessa. I have loved you almost since the moment I met you. Wait, I just tabbed that, I didn't highlight that, I need to highlight that. You and I, Tess, were alike. We live and breathe words. It was books that kept me from taking my own life after I thought that I could never love anyone, never be loved by anyone again. It was books that made me feel that perhaps I was not completely alone. They could be honest with me, and I with them, reading your words, what you wrote, how you were lonely, sometimes and afraid, but always brave. The way you saw the world, its colours and textures and sounds. I felt the way you thought, hoped, felt, dreamed. I felt like I was dreaming and thinking and feeling with you. I dreamed what you dreamed, wanted what you wanted, and then I realized that truly I just wanted you. The girl behind the scrolled letters. I loved you from the moment I read them. I love you still. It's fucking unfair. And then 2 pages later, please Tessa, don't tell him that I love you. Book 3 is gonna ruin me. Like, this is so much worse than I thought. I truly do believe that she loves Jem, but not in the same way she loves Will. Like, you cannot read this book and not sit there. Oh, come on, Cooper. Cooper's trying to console me now. Come on. You cannot sit and read this book and not feel how much love each other. Like, you could just feel it through the pages and their glances and the way they interact with each other and just understand. They make each other feel so seen, and I feel so bad for Jem because he just feels like no one sees him for who he is and sees him as his illness. And now I feel like we're in a really fucked up situation where Tessa loves Jem and cares for him, but not like she loves Will. And poor Jem deserves to have that same kind of love. I feel sick. So we've obviously finished the book. Now, my earlier prediction of being like, Jem is obviously going to die and then she's going to end up with Will, that kind of did happen in a way, you know? But I did not expect Will to be the one that ended up dying and then she's with Jem forever. I didn't expect that. I didn't see that. I didn't see that coming. I thought, oh, poor Jem, like this is almost kind of feeling like a cop-out because it was so clear that Will was the one. Wrong. So wrong. How could I be so wrong? Oh my goodness. I definitely tabbed and highlighted the most from book 3. The parallels between book 1 and 3 as well. Like, I have chills. Oh my god, I've just opened up randomly to my favorite page, my favorite quote. You endure what is unbearable and you bear it, that is all. But in book 1, Tessa saying to Will, like asking him questions and saying, I want to get to know you, I want to understand. He's like, what do you want from me? She's like, I want to understand you. And he's like, nobody does. And then in the 3rd book, when she's like, I know you, Will Herondale. It makes me so emotional. It's actually going to kill me. Apparently they make cameos in the other books in the series. I'm actually going to be sick though, because what do you mean? She forgot the exact shade of blue that his eyes are. No, I'm really upset. Again, of course. I'm never going to be able to look at Blackfriars Bridge the same ever again. I can promise you that. I think the most haunting quote of all, when she said Jem played the way he had covered his scarred face with his hands and turned away when he'd found out the child's name was James. That actually, like, fractured something inside of my heart. Will had opened the blue eyes that had never lost their colour over all the passing years and looked at Jem and then Tessa and smiled and died, with Tessa's head on his shoulder and his hand in Jem's. Oh, this is so silly. For a moment, her heart hesitated. She remembered when Will had died, her agony, the long nights alone, reaching across the bed every morning when she woke up for years expecting to find him there, and only slowly growing accustomed to the fact that the side of the bed would always be empty. The moments when she had found something funny and turned to share the joke with him, only to be shocked anew that he was not there. The worst moments when sitting alone at breakfast, she had realised that she had forgotten the precise blue of his eyes or the depth of his laugh, that, like the sound of Jem's violin, they had faded into the distance when memories are silent. And she's gonna go through it all again. It's so beautiful. Anyways, I'm afraid if you can read that without crying, then you're a masochist. I need to emotionally recover from reading these now, so I'm gonna end the vlog here. I can't believe I've just sat and cried on the internet for however long this video is, but I feel like it's such a canon experience anyways. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video.